Hey guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project365, episode 24. Today's topic, should you kip? Notice I didn't say can you, but we're going to start to tackle that age-old question of kipping versus strict pull-ups and all that nonsense, really. But what I do is I implement a couple rules, and I answer that question through these two rules. Or A, do we actually have the structural integrity with the passive structures of our shoulder to handle the force that's applied? And B, do we have the strength to actually, again, withstand those forces that are applied throughout that kipping motion? So the way that we do that is the first thing that we do is we test the structural integrity of the passive structures. So what we're trying to do is not have any muscle activation. Now they say in the kipping pull-up, the fall of the kipping pull-up is somewhere between 18 inches and 2 feet, depending on your arm length and the width that you're coming out with your stance or your hand stance. So what I want to see here is at the bottom of that, if it's between 18 inches and 2 feet, you're somewhere around 1.5 to 2 times your body weight at the bottom snapping portion of that kip. So before I allow anybody to kip, the first thing I do is see whether they can hold the bar with their body weight attached to them. So I have my own body weight, and this right here is about 185 more pounds. Let me just squirm into it. Oh. See my underwear? So from right there, we attach our body weight to it, and all I'm going to do is grab onto the bar. Guys, just one real quick thing. If you're wondering why my arm doesn't straighten, I broke it in 3 places. So during these examples, don't be like, oh man, his arm isn't locked out. Because I promise you, if I could make it go any farther, I would. So, anyway, to get back to where I'm at, I take a grip on both sides. What I'm going to try to do is see if I can hold this for 5 to 10 seconds. So my whole body weight, 5 to 10 seconds. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5, 6 1,000, 7 1,000, 8 1,000, 9, 10. Okay, so I passed my first test. I can hold my body weight for 10 seconds. The passive structures can withstand the integrity. Now, if at any time I felt any type of shoulder pain or any discomfort, the test is automatically over. It's a failed test. We're not doing kipping pull-ups. Next thing, can the active structures withstand those same pressures that are done during that kipping motion of the pull-up? And that's where we go to the 4-step pull-up. It's a strict pull-up. Number 1, can that athlete do a strict pull-up? If they can't do one strict pull-up, the likelihood of them then getting injured in a kip situation is pretty high. Now, the test requires you to do 10 4-step pull-ups. The way a 4-step pull-up goes, I start at a dead hang position. I get what they call scapular retraction and depression. So my shoulder blade moves down and in. Okay? I pull on the bar, bring my chin above the bar, still holding that scapular depression and adduction or retraction. I then release, and then release. So you can see the 4 steps. Scapular depression, pull the chin above the bar, release, release. That's 4. What I'd like to see is 10 complete 4-step pull-ups by that athlete. We're just going to do a couple to save time. So, I go ahead, I have my dead hang. First thing I do, depress the shoulder, pull, come back down, and allow that depression to stop. Now, a failed test there is if I go ahead, I get my depression, I come back up, I come back down, and I can't allow that little dip, meaning that I lost the shoulder integrity, I lost the depression of my shoulder throughout that movement. So what we have people do is we do that test. Now, I never said, can you do kipping pull-ups? Because the fact of the matter is there's the vast majority of people out there that do this test will fail one of those 2, but they can do pull-ups. What I'm simply saying is the closer you are to 0 from 10 is the higher the likelihood is that you're going to get injured, some type of thing with your shoulder throughout CrossFit activities. So if I have somebody that passes the shoulder integrity test, the passive one where they're holding their body weight, so 2 times or 1.5 times their body weight, and they can do 10 4-step pull-ups, then they're a go to do that kip. However, if they can only do, say, 1 or 0, I'm going to hold that person back, and the likelihood of them getting injured if they tried it or to continue to kip is very high. Because remember this, guys. The first thing that happens is we run out of active musculature, right? As that fatigues, the only thing that we have left then is the passive structures that hold the shoulder integrity together. Once those passive structures are superseded by the forces of the movement that I'm doing, then we have tissue failure. When we have tissue failure, that's injury. So guys, your prescription for today is to do that 2-part test. Load up your body weight. Make sure you're at some place where you can stand. We don't need people falling. But load up your body weight. Grab the bar. Bring your legs up. See if you can hold yourself for anywhere between 8 to 10 seconds, okay? Now, if you get 5, that's good too. But that just gives you a little bit of a radar, okay? Next, hop up over here. Do 10 scapular retracted pull-ups, okay? See where you land. If you get 10, you're hitting home runs. I think that you're okay. If you're closer to 1, that's where you have to start worrying about, should I be doing a strict pull-up regimen? I've got a whole bunch of those coming up in the series to come. We'll talk about those. Until next time, guys, we're optimizing function to optimize performance.